Everyone, it's good to come your way again with another 6 marker question. All right, can you guys follow and like my post so that we can reach 1,000 so that I can give you live lessons. Thank you for subscribing and liking. All right, today is another 6 marker question. This one is for chemistry higher paper 1. Let's see how we can also answer this for the full 6 mark question. Right, so the question says acid reacts with insoluble metal oxide to produce a salt. Now you are to plan a method to produce pure dry sample of a soluble copper chloride. So this one is a very important thing that should tell you what acid and what oxides you must use. So here the name of the salt has been given. That is copper chloride. That is CuCl2. If we are to write the chemical formula. So if I'm to form copper chloride, I need an acid and I need a metal oxide. So what should I use? This is where you need to bring in what we've learned about acids and how they react with metal oxide. So here, the best acids to use here, we are planning before we start the answer. The best acid to use here will be, of course, ACl. And then the metal is copper chloride. I want to produce copper chloride. The chloride is coming from this Cl here. The chloride is coming from here. So I need the copper. And so your metal oxide should be copper oxide. It should be copper oxide. So that's where the copper also will come from. So that copper and that reacting will give you this. If you want to write the chemical equation, you can put it down like that. So that's the copper chloride here. And then also I'll form water. I'll form water this way. All right, so that should be the reaction. You can put 2 here to balance the equation. All right, so let's go. So how are you going to do this? Now that you know what to use, you say, first of all, you're going to tell me that warm the hydrochloric acid. You just have to warm it because this metal is not that reactive. Copper is not very reactive, so we need to warm the solution a bit to help the reaction to go on very faster. So warm the hydrochloric acid and add the copper oxide in a suitable container. I would say let's do this in a conical flask or in a beaker. So why don't we say let's be specific so that we say in a conical flask. We can do it in a conical flask. It's fine, or you can do it in a beaker. It's also fine. All right, then after this, when the reaction, what we need to also add is that you must also stress on the fact that you need to add the copper oxide in excess. And why are we doing this? So that we make sure all the acid has reacted. So add the copper oxide in excess until all the acid has reacted. So that's that. Then because you added the copper oxide in excess, you're gonna have some which is still will be in the solution after the acid has finished reacting. So you're going to tell me that you then stir the solution. You're going to stir the solution. You are stirring to make sure that everything has reacted, and then you filter, and then filter excess copper oxide. You filter the excess copper oxide from the solution. Then your next step will be that you pour the solution with the salt. Now the salt is aqueous, so it has dissolved in the solution. So you pouring it into evaporating dish. This is very important you mention it. Evaporating dish. So this is very important that you mention that you are going to pour it into an evaporating dish. And then after that, using electric heater, either I use electric heater or water bath, you heat the solution for most or all the water to evaporate. Yes, so you are going to conclude, and then what do we do? So as the water evaporates, what happens? As the water evaporates, the salt, we're going to have the salt which will crystallize. The salt will crystallize, or the salt crystallizes, crystallizes out of the solution. So the salt will crystallize out of the solution. All right, so that's been expected. Let's look at how I'm going to mark this. Let's look at how we are going to mark this for full marks. So by you telling me that I should warm the acid and add the copper oxide, you are getting 1 mark for that. In a suitable container, in a conical flask, you're also getting 1 mark for that. Telling me that the copper oxide must be in excess is also 1 mark. And stir until all the acid has reacted is even also 1 mark for you. Filter the excess copper oxide is also another 1 mark. Pour the solution into a evaporating dish also gives you 1 mark. Using electric heater, heat for all the water to evaporate gives you also another 1 mark. And then the salt will then crystallize out of the solution, also gives you 1 mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You are getting more than what is required. All right. Yes, some of you say that I shouldn't be doing this in 9 minutes and that. Yes, if you were to write, you would have been a little bit faster. But remember, I am also explaining the concept and the facts. So that's why sometimes it takes me some time to finish this for you guys. See you. Bye.